Hi! Have you ever looked at the periodic table and wondered, how did someone come up with that? No, just me? Well, if you haven't, here's a brief history of how the periodic table came to be. Dmitri Mendeleev was passionate about the science of chemistry. You know that feeling when you're really excited about something and you have to tell everyone around you about it? Like when my favorite K-pop group SHINee makes a comeback and I have to tell all my friends and family about it, even though they're probably sick of me fangirling. It's like that. Mendeleev wanted to share all the developments in chemistry to his students. He even wrote his own textbook on organic chemistry in 1861 because there was no textbook on modern organic chemistry at the time in Russia. However, he noticed his students couldn't keep up because there was no concrete way to show the relationship between substances. He sought to find a way to organize the elements universally. For 3 long days he worked to organize the elements. He eventually dozed off at his desk, and when he woke up, he knew exactly where the elements should be placed. The elements were ordered in increasing atomic mass, though this is not totally true now, because not all the elements are in atomic mass order, but actually in atomic number order. But I'm getting off the topic. This was a giant step for Mendeleev. He had apparently dreamt the solution to his problem. Of course, this account could have been exaggerated through history, but it brings up the question of whether dreams can help us problem solve. Let's first look at the different stages you enter as you sleep. The first is N1, also called the dozing off stage. Our brain activity starts to slow, but our bodies are not fully relaxed, so it's very easy to wake someone up at this stage. The next stage is N2, where our bodies drop in temperature, our muscles relax, breathing and heart rate are slowed, eye movement stops, and brain activity slows, with short bursts of activity. After that is N3, also known as slow wave sleep and deep sleep. The body relaxes further with heart rate and breathing dropping further. Brain activity slows down even more. Now comes the final stage, REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. Our brain activity during this stage almost mimics levels seen when we are awake. The muscles are paralyzed except our eyes and our breathing, thankfully. We also have the most vivid dreams during REM sleep. It should be noted that dreams can occur in any sleep stage, but they are less common and intense. So why do we sleep? This is still up for debate. Some experts believe that dreaming brings no benefit to the dreamer, a byproduct of evolution without benefits. However, there are others who believe that dreaming has many purposes, including but not limited to processing trauma, memory consolidation, and the topic of today's video, problem solving. Have you heard of the saying, just sleep on it? Well, there might be some truth to it. Some experts believe that dreams are a way for us to use our subconscious and solve life's problems. To test this theory, researchers use what is called dream incubation, which is a technique which aims to guide our dreams in a particular way. Author and psychologist Dr. Deirdre Barrett performed an experiment to determine whether dreams could help us problem solve. Her test subjects, her students. She had her students focus on a problem of their choosing, so they would feel motivated to solve it. Most of these problems were of a personal nature, such as what school a student should attend. However, there were some objective and academic ones. For 1 week, the students would think about the problem before going to bed, which to me sounds like a nightmare. I try to forget my problems before going to bed, not linger on them. Keeps me up at night. But anyway, once the students woke up, they recorded all the dreams they had that night and starred the ones they thought related to the problem they were thinking about, and if a solution was formed. Dr. Barrett found that about half the students had a dream related to the problem, and about 70% of these students, 35% of all the students together, believed they found a solution to their problem. So how did the dreams play out? Were the answers served on a silver platter? Well, it was really dependent on the individual. Some students had metaphorical dreams, such as one student who couldn't decide what field to enter and where to study. The student dreamt that they were on a plane. The plane is having engine trouble and must land. The pilot says landing in their hometown will be too dangerous, which is also where the students' 2 schools they apply to are. From this dream, the student decides to go far away from their hometown. In other dreams, the answers were not as figurative. One student was deciding whether to pay the $500 to secure their place at a medical school before their top 3 school replied. This student had a dream that they were getting rejections from everywhere, so they decided to pay the $500. But before you decide to take your dreams as the meaning of life, Dr. Barrett does warn that it can be dangerous to take your dreams literally. Dreams are not only affected by what we're thinking right before we go to sleep, but also other events in our life and personal beliefs. Dream solutions should be taken with a grain of salt. An interesting point that Barrett does bring up is that a person may already have the answer to their problem before they dream the solution. It's just that our conscious mind is not aware of it, but when we dream the solution to our problem, it creates a sense of personal satisfaction. So if dreams can help us problem solve, could lucid dreamers potentially enhance this? A field experiment conducted by Tadas, Stumbrys, and Michael Daniels of Liverpool John Moores University in the UK sought to answer this question. 2 groups were created, one of lucid dreamers and the other of non-lucid dreamers, aka the control group. For 10 consecutive nights, a task was emailed to the participants. The tasks were either a logical problem or to create a metaphor of a given situation, such as a lighthouse in the desert. Both groups were sent the problem at the same time and had to think about the problem before going to sleep. Lucid dreamers were asked to meet a guide in their dreams who would be all-knowing and provide an answer to their problem, while non-lucid dreamers were simply asked to write down their dream when they woke up. Interestingly, with logical tasks, only 16.9% of the participants of both groups had correct answers to the logical puzzles, with the control group doing only 3% better than lucid dreamers. Metaphor tasks were rated on originality, aptness, validity, and elegance. Lucid dreamers ranked better in all 4 categories when compared to the control group. The researchers concluded that lucid dreams can help in problem solving, but with more creative tasks. But why were the creative tasks easier to solve than the logical ones? One possible reason is that the participants simply didn't care to solve the logical puzzles. The study notes that lucid dreamers are far more interested in going on an adventure in their dreams, not solving a puzzle. I mean, if I could lucid dream, I would much rather dream about traveling through time and space with a doctor than in a room solving a math problem. There is also another reason that creative tasks are favored. It is thought that lucid dreams are a REM phenomenon, and it is also thought that during REM sleep, the right hemisphere is more active than the left. This could be since the right hemisphere is generally linked with emotional intelligence and creative performance. However, it should be noted that this is partly speculative, and more experiments on brain activity during REM sleep needs to be done. The brain is a tricky subject to study, of course. Fun fact, while doing research on this subject, I found that social interactions are much more frequent in dreams than in our waking lives. Some experts believe that it's a way for our brain to stimulate social interactions, which makes sense because I definitely talk to more people in my dream than in real life. With all the information we've gathered, let's look back at Mendeleev's dream. From the experiments we've discussed and other experiments on problem solving in dreams, it can be inferred that dreams are more likely to help us solve creative tasks. At first glance, Mendeleev's problem of figuring out how to format the elements is a logical one, but I would argue that there needed to be some creative problem solving. To come up with a new idea, we need to be logical, but also creative. Sometimes we just need that dash of creativity to find a solution. So do dreams help with problem solving? I would say yes and no. While dreams may help us figure out a new idea like it did to Mendeleev, or help us decide what college to attend, we shouldn't depend on them, especially when dealing with decisions relating to our life. Remember Dr. Barrett's study from earlier? One student of hers was confused about whether to marry her boyfriend or not. Her dream led to the conclusion that she should not marry him. Researchers have found that most dreams are negative ones, and anxiety can be the cause of such dreams. So this student's dream may have been an anxiety type dream. I remember in college, during exams, I would have dreams where I ran out of time or was late for the exam. Not a fun thing to wake up to. Dreams, while fascinating and helpful, should not be taken too seriously. Maybe we should look at dreams as one piece of the puzzle and search for those other pieces in our waking life. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful day.